Sorry, gang.
Yeah, Afakasi.
I was muted. Let me reintroduce myself. Afakasi Raider, got your boy Ont6 Soldier back at it again for another edition of Wake Up Nation. And it is post-draft morning. So, how are we all feeling, gang? What's going on, Ont6?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's a little surprising as a Raider fan when you hear all the different ESPN, Pro Football Focus giving us A grades on our draft. It's a little weird, but I like it. You know, especially as a fan, seeing the picks that are coming up the board. I like the players that we chose, so can't wait to get into it.
Hell yeah. And salute to the chat. I'm just going to do a quick roll call first. We got Robert Pena, always the first one in the building. Nice to see you, my friend. We got Egalitarian, salute to you. Richard Lyon, Anthony Provencio, we going undefeated and winning the Super Bowl. Absolutely. Wishful thinking, but we'll see. Jar Raider, salute to you. And I'm not bueno. Nice to see you in the feed, my friend. Jar says, we got my guys, defensive end, Judd Joyner, and cornerback Mello Dodson in UDFA. Joyner's like Joey Bosa, and Mello Dodson plays like Sauce Gardner. A grade for me on those two. Well, hopefully they can be even a quarter of those guys, because if they are, then they're going to make this roster. But I have got a screen ready with all the undrafted free agents that were signed, so we will get into that when we go through the picks and then the undrafted free agents signed as of now. But before we get into that, on 6, so how are you feeling about the draft as a whole?
I mean, overall, I love it. There's a lot of, especially when we start off with Gentry, you know, we got the best running back in the draft class, you know what I mean?
Blue Mini?
I love that pick. And then just seeing them draft offensive linemen, too, right away, too, especially not just one, two, you know what I mean? That possibly going to be starters for us going into the season. So I'm really excited overall, especially, too, even the wide receivers we had, the guy from Tennessee, man, the height and speed of that guy, he could probably turn into something, you know what I mean? I know he's a later round and he's going to be a developmental wide receiver, but there's a lot of potential with the wide receivers and with everybody we took. So I'm just excited overall. Man, I wish the season started tomorrow, but still got to wait and see. But
we're going to have to wait. So Eric says, salute to Eric. Tommy Mellott, Montana State, that's my boy. Well, that's cool. We'll get into him as well. We're going to go through each pick individually. Salute to you, Jeff. I see you in the building. 401 rated Jeff. Nice to see you in the feed, my friend. All right, I'm going to go to the screen. And Marcus, I see you just pulled up. So just give me a mo. I'm going to go to the screen with the said picks. And can somebody snipe this fool out of my stream? You guys know who he is. If you guys see him, that Luke Thompson guy, get him out of here. I ain't got time for these motherfuckers today.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. I'm going to...
Just like we're going to get rid of Amir since he and Amir. Right. Get out of here.
Get him out of here. Bomb. But anyways, just give me a moment. I'm going to share the screen with you one time. One moment, please. All right. So just got to go here. And then... one moment, please. There we go. Can you see that? On 6?
Yes, I can.
All right. So there's the draft class as a whole. And Hug D's, I see you in the building. Nice to see you, my friend. So Ashton Genty, round 1. Jack Besh, round 2. Darian Porter, round 3. Caleb Rogers, round 3 at the end. As well as Charles Grant, the pick after. Dante Thornton, round 4. Tonka Hemingway, round 4 as well. JJ, I'm hoping I say this right. Pegues, DT from Ole Miss, round 6. Tommy Mellott, round 6 as well. Wide receiver / quarterback. Cam Miller, from the guy you were just talking about, and salute to Willie Wayne, from North Dakota State, round 6. And then Cody Lindenberg, round 7. Shout out to, I think it's, is it 205 or 405 Raider? He was talking about him on the live just before we picked him, so salute to him. So yeah, a boatload of players. We traded back multiple times and we were able to acquire some more picks. And yeah, we turned what we had 9 picks into, how many did we draft? 11 players. So, you know, drafting for need, and some of them BPA, some of them look like they may be project guys, which is a little scary because haven't really done too well when it comes to drafting project picks, but I'm going to trust the process and hopefully, at least 4 or 5 of these guys pan out, right? You there, Ont6?
Yeah, my bad.
That's all right.
No, I completely agree. It is scary taking some of the guys that are developmental, but at the same time, it's a different coaching staff. You got to give them their time and their due process as well. Because at the end of the day, Pete Carroll and them are going to be here for more than 1 year. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a rebuilding process. But it's a solid draft overall, and I'm excited to see what they do in training camp and even in the preseason.
Gotcha. All right, I'm going to share the screen with you again because I just changed screens. But just bear with me. So you can see each pick one by one. All right, where are we at? Okay, can you see it now?
Yeah.
All right, so with round 1, pick number 6, we got your boy. I know Westside would be the most happiest guy in the chat feed. I was just as happy, and salute to you, Ray and Willie Wayne. Nice to see you in the feed, my friends. Ashton Genty, running back from Boise State. So tell us how you feel, Ont6.
First of all, he's not the player I wanted at that pick. I'm not gonna lie, but I am excited about the player. He's the best running back that came out since Shaquan Barkley, and we see him what he did last year with the Eagles. At the end of the day, he was the best player on the board at a position of need, and I'm excited because I couldn't go another season with the running back room how it was last year. So grew rid of all of them and bring in the best running back that we could get, and Genty it was, and I'm excited, especially to see him in a Chip Kelly offense, because every time he's been in the league, he's always had a top rushing game. So I'm just excited.
Hell yeah. Salute to Navy. And James, whenever James comes in the building, you know what time it is. We lost on 6. Give me a moment. I'm going to see if I can... You were gone. Puffy disappeared and Puffy reappeared. What happened there?
I had no idea. My screen went black, and then you left, and then the screen went black again, and I popped up here again. I don't know. I'm trying to do a Joe Hendry. Say his name, and he appears.
But anyways, back to Ashton Genty. Well, look, I was on record saying that, for me, for the region where we were picking, he seemed to be the BPA as well as addressing an area of your need. And the guy who many believe has the best chance to be a stud right from the rip, ready to contribute. I mean, he's definitely going to give us better than what we've had last season. I mean, I don't even want to go on another rant about the, rushing attack from last season being dead last by a bullet. To getting a guy who, at the very least, is going to give us better than that. But at most, this could be the next big thing at running back, and I hope that is the case. I mean, this guy broke all kinds of records in college. I mean, the amount of rushing yards he had last season is second only to all-time great Barry Sanders. You know what I'm saying? So 2,600 yards, 29 touchdowns at 7 yards per carry. A destructive runner, a guy who just is elusive, breaks a whole bunch of tackles, even in the backfield. I mean, I'm excited to see what this guy can do in the silver and black.
Should be an exciting season, especially to see him out there game 1 and to see him in the black and silvers. You know what I mean? It just sucks, too, that we had to let go of Josh Jacobs and deal with Amir and Sincere this past year to really recognize how good we had with Josh Jacobs, how good of a running back he had. And now we have the next great running back in Raiders history, hopefully, man. So hopefully he can break some of Josh Jacobs' records and cement his name in Raider history. But we'll just take one game at a time first.
Make that running back room great again. Bring it back to that commitment to excellence, like I said when we reacted live. And Ray Sandoval's comment there, 1,600 yards after contact. Whoo-wee. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm just hoping it translates over to the NFL level, right?
Yeah, me too. But it's exciting too because Chip Kelly was in the college football last year, and he's seen him. So at the end of the day, I'm really excited to see him in the Chip Kelly system. Man. Fantasy football, might be my first pick. Never know. Tijuana Bombers, here we go.
Tijuana Bombers. All right, so second round, we traded back for this pick, didn't we?
Huh?
We traded back, didn't we, for this pick? We
Yeah, we
did.
did it. I think we traded back twice.
Right, right. So we traded back, we acquired some more picks, and we traded away our second and I think our fifth round pick. We got a second, third, and a fourth round. I might be mistaken, but we did make a trade. We traded to go later on that round, and we used said selection on Jack Besh, wide receiver from TCU. How do you feel about Jack Besh on
I,
six?
before I say anything, when we first drafted him, I was like, who? But after seeing some highlights of him and seeing who he is, like, he reminds me of Jordy Nelson, that kind of receiver and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's perfect. He'll fit perfectly in the system that we have now, especially probably him lining up on the other side of Jacoby Myers. But
Right.
at the end of the day, we did need a lot of help at wide receiver, and we did address in the draft and early too. And hopefully, he can come in and day one and produce for us.
For sure, for sure. I mean, the word that they highlighted a lot when they spoke of Besh is toughness. This guy brings toughness to the position, whether it be at trying to catch a ball or even with his blocking. Apparently, he's quite good at that too, which I mean bodes well for us, being that we just drafted Ashton Genty. So, you know, if he can contribute to even more yards for Genty, that would be fantastic. But yeah, like I said before, like this guy gives me shades of and the comp for him is Jordy Nelson. Hopefully, we do get that the Green Bay version of Jordy Nelson. That would be nice. Um, he was quite productive in college. Went over 1,000 yards last season, 9 touchdowns. He's not like the most athletic or the fastest guy. I mean, he's ran a 4.5 40-yard dash, I believe. But what he lacks in finesse, he makes up for with skill. You know what I'm saying? So he might not be the flashiest, but if he can get the job done, it doesn't really matter, right?
True that. At the end of the day, as long as he catches the ball, it can help us get first down, touchdown. That's all that matters.
For sure, for sure. And Ray comment there, very physical, sure hands, good blocker. Marcus, I really like Jack Besh. I'm excited to see him in action. Me too. Him and the other guy we will talk about soon. I'm just hoping if one of these guys can contribute immediately or pan up for us, then cool. Like, I'm going to be happy. And Raider Jeff says, this kid wants to be a Raider, and I love it. That's good. Well, I hope they all want to be Raiders, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, what we got them for, right? But anyways, we will go to the next pick, and that's this is a guy who could be the definition of boom or bust, and that is Darian Porter, cornerback from Iowa State. Iowa. Sorry, respect on their name. What do you know about this guy, Darian Porter?
Not much really, but just that he's a freak specimen at 6'4" and running 4.3. The
Right.
sky's the limit for this guy. Just thinking about that freak athleticism and knowing what our defensive Corey did with Jacoby,
What's up,
not
Space Base?
Jacoby, Bennett last year and done it in his rookie year. You know what I mean? Just can't wait to see what he turns out to be because he has all the talent in the world, man. He just needs somebody to bring it out of him, and hopefully our coaching staff's the one to do it.
For sure, for sure. And salute to Space Beast, Jerry. I see you in the building, and Navy Vet. I don't know if I saluted you yet. So this guy is a converted wide receiver to cornerback, and while I was listening to some of the takes about Porter, there was some ridiculous stat about like how many times he was targeted as to how many times players actually caught the ball on him, and it like people weren't throwing to his area because they were apparently too afraid to because he was quite locked down for a guy who just transitioned from wide receiver to corner in one season. So, you know, there's a very high ceiling for this guy. Can we get him to reach his potential with his athletic traits? And he's fast. Another speedster. This guy's just as fast as Jacorian Bennett, but he's taller and bigger, right?
Yeah.
Ran the same speed. So it's kind of nice that we've gone back to the speed kills kind of throwback. Al Davis would have loved this pick, and speed is something we've kind of lacked of late in the last few years. So it's nice to see, even if it's just for Madden purposes, we bring in some speed back in the door, right?
No, true that, because speed kills, and we all know that. Al Davis always loves speed, and that's something I always draft for too. Especially too with all the speed there is on offense, and going 4 or 5 receiver sets, you need good cornerbacks. You need like good 4 or 5.
For sure, for sure. Well, hopefully this guy can contribute. It may take a little while. I don't know. Like, he might pick it up real quickly. He may not. But kind of a project per se. But like, some of the scouts had him quite high as well. So, you know, this guy could really pan out to be the next big thing and a steal of the draft. Or, you know, maybe he might just epically flame out. Time will tell. I don't see it being an in-between kind of deal, right?
Yeah, true that. It's gonna be a home run or it's gonna be a strikeout when you're out of here. But
Right.
I'm hoping for the best, man. Because all talent.
Yeah, right. I hope it's a home run and not a Tanner Muse or a Lynn Bowden type deal, right?
For reals or a Damon Arnett.
He asked for special teams. That's a huge plus. Okay, that's what's up. So hopefully he can contribute on the special teams. Sorry about all the burping. I drank this tasty beverage, the Rockstar, my drink of choice. Great drink. But anyways, we'll go to the next pick. So with one of the... Oh, wait, we're still in round 3. That's right. So we acquired 2 more round 3 picks via trades. And we went back-to-back with the last 2 picks of the 3rd round. And the first guy we selected, and I know Raider Jeff was happy about this one, is guard from Texas Tech, Caleb Rogers. I, for one, am happy, and I know Jeff is. Like, he was a little disappointed we didn't address the trenches. Many people wanted to address the trenches earlier in the draft. But, hey, look, we got a guy who might be able to plug in and play effective immediately right from the rip. And hopefully he can be one of the interior guys that we can build around. Because the jury's still out on Dylan Parham, and this is the final season of his rookie contract. These other guys we got in the door, I mean, I don't mind Jordan Meredith, but who knows? Maybe this Caleb Rogers can be the guy that brings that guard position back to excellence. What say you, Ont6?
I'm just excited that we took back-to-back offensive linemen, especially when we took Genty, and now we have a new quarterback in Geno Smith. I want them, give them all the talent in the world for them to be able to succeed during the season. Even if they don't start, we have more depth at the offensive line. That's something that we do need, especially too. It's gonna be a long season, so the more bodies we can get in here to help compete and make each other better at the end of the day is better for the whole team.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I mean, at the very least, at least we got a guy who can be depth, right? But I'm hoping that this guy can be the next interior guy that we can start and can make that position great again. Because there was a large time frame during my Raider fandom where our guard position was strong. It hasn't been that for the last couple of years, and maybe it can start with this guy, right?
True that. We always gotta start somewhere. But the thing is, like about both of these offensive linemen, they're athletic and they can play multiple positions on the offensive line. So that's always good.
Right. An egalitarian saying Caleb Rogers might not make the final 53-man roster. Gee, that's a pretty steep prediction. I hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case.
Let's not do that. We ain't gonna have no Lynn Bowden Jr. situation no more. All right, we left that in the past. Let's put good energy out here. We want you to succeed.
Positive energy. I like it. All right. So with the next back-to-back pick, we selected tackle. I think he's predominantly a left tackle. Charles Grant from William and Mary. Is that a Division 1 school? Or is that the
I'm not sure.
The league that's below like the FBS? Kind of like with the...
I think so, but I'm not sure to be off the top of it. I'm not going to say I'm an expert or anything, but I think so.
What, can't you use your crystal ball like that other guy?
Well, I'm not gay, so I'm not going to go rub another man's balls, so...
Right.
Sorry,
we're not going to talk about him, but sorry, guys, we won't even go there. But anywho, So Charles Grant, a smaller school guy, but I highlighted this the other day. I shared a panel with someone like the last time we tried to address the left tackle position by drafting a guy from a smaller school, and I think you also kind of alluded to it as well previously. Do you remember the last time we tried to address the left tackle position specifically with a smaller school guy in the draft?
Uh, it was Jerry Valdir, if I recall correctly.
Uh huh. Hillsdale.
But the
And
funny thing is about that draft too that we had took in the Bruce Campbell, the athletic freak. That really thought that he was going to be our starting left tackle that year, and then going into that first game, it was actually Valdir. So
right.
just makes goes to show you sometimes you just don't know.
Well, Veldier, you probably don't remember, actually started at center. He was pretty bad, but Veldier panned out for us at left tackle specifically. And maybe this guy can do the same. I mean, we're still kind of up in the air about Colton Miller. Kind of not an ideal situation to like move into the season without him and say, right, it's either going to be Mumford or this guy. That'd be unfair expectations. So I'm hoping like Miller comes back. At least we've got someone for the now. But this is a guy we can develop and possibly be the guy to take over for life after Colton Miller. Because, like I keep highlighting, it's about time we find ourselves a contingency plan because life after Colton Miller is going to be nigh, per se. It's the end is near. Samir, Amir, sincere. Sorry, gang. But yeah, look, if this guy can be the guy that is going to be the incumbent at left tackle, then cool. I would prefer for him to sit and be a depth guy for now. Let him hone his craft, and then if and when he's ready, be able to take over for when there is life after Colton Miller. So, you got any other thoughts on Mr. Grant?
I don't. I'm just wishing him all the luck, man. I'm just hoping he can come in here and produce day one and hopefully start. But the sky's the limit for these guys, man. I'm just excited. I haven't been this excited for a draft class since. No, it's been a while. Not gonna lie, it's been a great while. I've been excited for a draft class award.
Right. We just really need 4 of these guys to work out. 5 would be fantastic. Any more than that would be amazing. But
For reals.
the next pick, one of the 4th round guys, is this the 4th round pick we got via trade, or was this just one of the pick that we had?
No, I think this was our original first fourth round pick that we had.
Okay, that's what's up. So with the 4th round pick, 108 overall, we selected wide receiver from Tennessee, Dante Thornton Jr., a guy he's pretty big physically as well as he's fast. Another speedster. He ran a 4.3 something, or was it a 4.3 flat 40-yard dash?
I think it was a 4.34 if I remember, or it might have been a 4.3 flat. I'm not sure, but that it was unbelievable speed. Just his height, weight, and speed. It's just unbelievable. We haven't seen something like that since I believe Calvin Johnson or something like that. It's just unbelievable, man. I'm not saying he's up that caliber,
Right.
but the measurables say he can be one day. But we'll see what happens. Just the talent's there, man. And the thing is, too, Tennessee didn't have that good of a quarterback last year either. So you know what I mean. Some of these wide receivers are better than they are. It's just hard to show you what you got when you got a horrible quarterback.
Right. So Ray Sandoval has shared he's 6'5", 4.33 yard, 40-yard. Sorry, 4.33 40-yard dash, which is amazing for a guy who's that big. So it's good that we address the wide receiver position. I mean, after Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker, it was looking pretty bleak as it stood before the draft. I mean, a whole bunch of UDFAs that's not really going to get the job done. And Trey Tucker's a spot guy that I like doing that, but I do not want him starting on the outside. So if him or Besh can solidify that spot right from the rip, we should be good. If both those guys pan out, then that's amazing, right?
No, true that, true that. I'm just excited, man, because we need a wide receivers, and Pete Carroll and John Spytek maneuvered in the round. I mean, the draft amazingly, and just was able to get some good players that we needed. And they're all good at different ways, and we can use them as a take deep shots or even take screens to the house. He has home run ability on every time he catches the ball, and that's something that we needed here.
For sure, for sure. says he only got the ball 27 times and had 600 yards. Okay, well that's what's up. I hope he brings that speed and can do some things like we can throw over the top and he can catch some balls and make some touchdowns and make some plays. So another pick that I'm happy with. That like I said, surely one of these two or any of these wide receivers we pick, whether undrafted or we drafted, can solidify that second wide receiver spot on the outside, because that spot is wide open as it stood before the draft. So yeah. But anyways, we will move on. So with one of our round 4 picks that we traded for.
Oh, give me 1 second. I gotta do something for my mom real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on.
All right, man. No worries. You are permitted. So we took defensive tackle from South Carolina, Tonka Hemingway. What a name, Tonka. Like the Tonka trucks, like Raider Jeff highlighted when we were sharing the panel. And salute to you, Ray. I see you. Shout out to the 24 people in the chat. If you can, just double tap that screen one time. It gets us out there in the algorithm. Maybe get some more people in here. That would be appreciated. But Tonka Hemingway, a defensive tackle. I mean, he had some decent production by looking at the stats. I mean, I haven't seen a whole bunch of film on him. But he got 4 sacks last season, quite a few tackles. This is a guy who they utilized, I think, via tush push or fullback. Like he scored some touchdowns and some extra points. So it's going to be interesting here because apparently this guy and the next guy we'll talk about are quite dynamic like that. But like with that said, and I said this when I shared the panel, shout out to Raider Jeff, when they made this pick, that like I just want one of these defensive tackles that we drafted to be worth a damn. Like even as a rotational guy, you know what I'm saying? Like we have drafted so many defensive tackles in the last 7 years, and every single one of them didn't pan out to be even a decent rotational guy, and I'm getting sick of it. Like, can this guy or the other guy that we're going to talk about at least be that? Like, that's my bare minimum expectation. You know what I'm saying? Just a guy who can contribute. If he could be more than that, fantastic. And salute to you, Nab, man. I see you in the building. Appreciate you, brother. But Tonka Hemingway, can he be the guy who changes the course of how we've been doing when it comes to drafting defensive tackle? I hope so. I mean, I'm sick of these Jihad Wards, PJ Halls, Eddie Vanderdozers, these Neil Farrell Jr.'s, these Matthew Butlers, Brandon Matthew Butler still on our roster, Byron friggin' Youngs, you know what I'm saying? The list goes on. I'm tired of it and I'm sick of it. Can we just get a guy who can at least contribute? And if he can be better than that, that would be amazing. I'm going to stick with this pick here until my guy Ont6 comes back. So I'm just going to go to the chat. So Ray says, glad we got some defensive tackle depth too. Potential rotational guys to get breaks. Well, we're good with our starters with Christian Wilkins. Hopefully he comes back healthy and he plays to the level that we expect from him with the cash that we're paying him. As well as Adam Butler, a very underappreciated guy who definitely deserves his new contract and to come back and hopefully excels yet again and exceeds expectation. But what say you about Tonka Hemingway on 6?
For me, I didn't know much originally when we drafted him, but he's athletic. He is an athletic defensive tackle, and the more defensive tackles we can get in here, the better. I just hope he produces like you said, because I'm tired of us wasting draft picks on these defensive tackles at the end of the day that come in here and don't do anything. But I'm just hoping for the best and give me something. Show me something day one. You know what I mean? Something.
Show something. It doesn't have to be day one, but like, come on, like, can he at least be better or produce and do something? Like all those names I brought up before. I brought up all the names of the guys we drafted in the last 7 years alone when we try to address defensive tackle, and just about every single one of them did absolutely nada. Squat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sick of it. I'm so tired of it. Hopefully this guy and or the next guy we're going to talk about brings us back to having some defensive tackles that we draft that are worth a damn. So I will go to the next pick. So we didn't get a pick till round 6. We traded back. I believe this is one of the picks we acquired via the. Was this one of the picks we acquired, or maybe the one we had already?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure, but
Whatever the case, we drafted JJ. I'm saying his name right. Pegues from Ole Miss, a very dynamic guy. I don't know about if you know about what he was able to do when he was able to line up at fullback. This is a guy who has 7 rushing touchdowns, 8 in total in his college career, as well as a receiving one, and that's to go alongside his production at his natural position at defensive tackle. So possibly a guy we could utilize with the tush push or in goal line situations. But what do you say about this guy?
another defensive tackle that's athletic, and there's a lot of upside with him, and two, just shows you how athletic he is for being used on the offensive side of the ball. But another defensive tackle in here, man, to show me something, like we said before, man. I'm just excited that Pete Carroll addressed the needs of this team that he saw was players that have potential, and he might not show anything else with day one, but just show us something to give us hope. That's what you know what I mean? Just like even when we drafted Nesta, man, I had a lot of high expectations for him, especially for him being from Miami, but he showed me something a couple games, then disappeared off the map, and then we never heard of him again.
Went off into the sunset and was just another defensive tackle that just didn't work out for us. But whatever, we got 2 more in the door. And like I highlighted before, can one of these guys just work out, please? And that's an interesting stat there by Ray that he's just shared. So 18 of his 21 carries went for first downs or touchdowns. That is a crazy stat right there. So
That is ridiculous.
very dynamic. Hopefully he brings that dynamic side of him to the Raiders and it works out for us. But, you know, I do want him to concentrate on being the best he can be at the defensive tackle position. And if he can do some things on the offensive side of the ball, if and when his number is called, then that would be fantastic. And salute to you, I'm not bueno. I don't know if I said hello to you yet. Nice to see you in the feed, my friend. Good to see you, brother. But anyways, we'll go on to the next pick. And we selected from Montana State wide receiver slash quarterback Tommy Mellett, another dynamic player. What do you know about him, Ont6?
Couple words. Need for speed. This kid is fast.
Ooh.
I mean, holy fuck. That's why when I seen his highlights, he was a quarterback, but when they announced the pick as a wide receiver, so I think they're going to convert him to a wide receiver. But it's going to be interesting to see the packages and the way the Chip Kelly implements this guy in the offense. But we'll see if he even makes the roster as well. But there's playmaking ability here, and we need playmakers on this offense. So I'm happy about the pick.
Right. Another crapshoot, I mean, these round 6s and 7 guys are, like, if they can amount to anything or do anything, like even as a rotational guy or a player that could do things in spots or special teams, that's cool. I've heard people make the Julian Edelman comparison. There you go, Ray just said it in the chat. He's going to be a Julian Edelman type player, but more athletic. Well, look, I'm just hoping that this guy can make the roster and do some things in spots. If he can be any more than that, or if he can one day be close to Julian Edelman, that's a huge steal there. But, you know, my expectations are low with these round 6 to 7 guys. Like, just show enough in preseason to warrant you being able to stick around, maybe make the roster or go to the practice squad, whatever it may be, until you're ready to contribute. If he can be better than that right from the rip, then fantastic. But we will see. But you highlighted before, this is another speedster that ran, what was it, a 4.3 40-yard dash?
Yeah.
So we got speed for days on both sides of the ball. I'm just looking at some of his stats. I mean, you know, he was quite productive at quarterback. He was able to rush for 1,000 yards, throw for 2,700 yards, 31 touchdowns, 2 INTs. That's shit. From the numbers side of things, that's pretty good. You know, he caught some balls as well. Yeah. So hopefully he can bring that dynamic play to the Raiders. And salute to you, Gravy. I see you in the building. Don't need a DT playing fullback until we start winning. Not excited for any of the round 6 picks. Well, salute to you. Look, I remember we were on the panel together debating the fact, like, that's what we brought Genty in the door for. And absolutely, I 100% agree from you. I'm not swapping out Genty for any of these other guys. But if we can, I don't know, get creative and utilize these guys in some spots, then I'm not going to be mad with it. But salute to you. But anyways, we'll go to the next guy, and that is a quarterback from North Dakota State, Cam Miller, another round 6 guy. So we'll know much about this guy?
I have no idea. All I know is he's from North Dakota State, and that's the school that the Trey Lance and Carson Wentz went
Carson
to.
Wentz.
So there has been NFL talent to come out of that school. So you never know. But excited to see him in the preseason and see what he actually has to offer to his team. But for all I know, he's athletic and he can have an arm. So there's talent there. So we see if we can get the most out of it.
For sure, for sure. So, look, a quarterback from a smaller school, but granted, like this school has a pedigree and a legacy of quarterbacks going on to make the league via the draft to mixed results. I mean, Carson Wentz was all right for a minute. Trey Lance from, forgive me if I'm wrong, he hasn't really done too great since he's been in the league. I might be mistaken. I don't watch too much football outside of Raider football. But Cam Miller, look, like this is a guy who was productive at his level. And I guess if he can, I don't know, like bring some competition to that backup spot. I mean, look, however you may feel about Aiden O'Connell, and I feel like, as I keep saying, like he's a good enough backup who can start in a pinch and win us some games. But this is a guy who's going to come in and compete, and if those two duel it out in preseason, and Aiden O'Connell doesn't beat him out by a landslide, I mean, you know, there's going to be talks, right? And salute to Wild Turkey. I see the building.
True that. But we'll see because I don't know. I still believe AOC is a better quarterback than him, but you never know with this kid. At the end of the day, Chip Kelly picked this kid for a reason. Now we'll see what he has.
We'll see what he can do. Is he going to be push for that backup spot? Maybe start one day. I don't know. Or is he going to be a practice squad guy? We will see. But he will get his chance. It's going to make for an interesting preseason to see what Cam Miller has to offer, if anything, right?
True that.
And then with our final pick of the draft, this is a pick I like. He even looks like him too, Luke Masterson. But Cody Lindenberg from Minnesota, linebacker. So we finally took a linebacker in the draft, albeit late. And usually these late round linebackers that we draft of late don't really amount to much or anything. But here we go again. So we have tried to address it. We badly need depth. We may even need a starter depending on how well Devin White plays, if he can return to that form or if he doesn't. Whether or not Tommy Eichenberg and Amari Burney can do anything and be better and take that next step to push for a starting or be decent enough depth guys, because neither of those two cats have done it for me yet. And you still got Luke Masterson as well. I don't know where he's at, but Cody Lindenberg, another guy who can be brought in to compete. More of a coverage linebacker from what I hear. And salute to Matt Marinovich, I see in the building. Yeah, very very similar names, Lindenberg, Eichenberg. But I hope it pans out. I mean, I know what I said about the defensive tackle position, I can say about the linebacker position. Like most of these linebackers we draft late in the draft don't really work out for us, and hopefully it can change with this guy. But what say you, Ont6?
Yeah, me too. Hopefully he produces and actually is able to do something for us because I'm tired of us drafting linebackers and they're not turning out to be anyone at all. You know what I mean? What's the last time we actually drafted a linebacker or two that actually developed and we had it here for longer than 2 or 3 years? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I hope the best for this guy because there is talent there. And I don't remember who said it that they wanted us to draft him, but he was only like a 6th or 7th round guy, and we actually ended up drafting him. So I'm excited to see what he has to show us when he has on the field. But we do need depth at the middle linebacker spot. I know it took long, but at least we drafted one.
Yeah, I think it was Raider 805, like when I shared the panel with Jeff. I think that's his name, Raider 805, 205, whatever it is. But it's funny because he was talking about this guy when we were in round 4, that he's the linebacker that he highlighted that he wanted us to pick, and sure enough, we did. So salute to him. Like, he got it right. We brought him in the door, and hopefully he can come in, compete, and hopefully earn his place. 805. Thank you, Raider Jeff. And salute to you, Freddie. I see you in the building. Ray says, good sideline. Speed, it's a good sideline to linebacker, pretty athletic. Just hope he can bring some competition. Me too. Like if he can be a depth guy, that's a win for me. But we really need someone to step up. I'm looking at possibly him, these other guys, Eichenberg, Bernie, Masterson. I mean, we really need these guys to take that next step, right? Because my patience is kind of running thin, right?
No, for us, I hear you, dude. I just want us to draft, be able to keep and grow on homegrown talent. You know what I mean? I'm just tired of it. You know what I mean? Especially some of these guys that we took, even back going all the way back to Tanner Muse, the special teams war daddy that didn't even do anything for us, and
tired of those type picks.
players like that.
Tired of it.
Yeah.
Which brings me back to, like I said before, there's quite a few project picks that we took with this draft, and I'm going to trust the process and hope that some of these guys, like, I'm not going to expect all of them to pan out, but hopefully some of them work out, because, like I said, historically with project guys, we have not done well at all, and again, I'm getting kind of sick of it. So, you know, if we can get two of these guys to develop and be even good enough depth pieces, then fantastic. Any more than that, then I think we're going to be goody hoodie. So that's it with the draft picks specifically, but of course after the draft you go on to the undrafted free agent period. So I actually got the list of the players we have signed as of now. So there's the list right there. I think I can't remember who brought them up before, but there's the full list of guys we've signed as of now. So there's 12 names there. Jar Joyner, defensive end from Minnesota. Matt Jones, linebacker, Baylor. Parker Clements, offensive tackle, Virginia Tech. Melo Dobson, cornerback, Kansas. Jared Hufford, offensive lineman, Iowa State. Another Iowa State guy. Is that two now we took? Or was that three? Sure. Whatever. Carter Runyon, tight end from Townsend. I've never heard of that college. Trayvon May, from defensive lineman, Baylor. Kevin Pointer, defensive tackle, supposed to say Wake Forest. I butchered that spelling. Sorry, I was going on a little sleep. But anyways, and salute to you, Jayhawk Raider. Canby Goff, safety from Navy. Another safety we got from Navy. Hudson Clark, another safety, Arkansas. John Humphrey, cornerback from UCLA. And Greedy Vance, defensive back from USC. So there's quite a few people who have mentioned Melo specifically, the cornerback from Kansas. Do you know much of anything about these guys, or is it just, look, let's just wait and see. Hopefully one of these guys can make an impact, make the push for a roster spot, or just sit on the practice squad and develop a little bit. What say you, Ont6?
I mean, that's the same for me. At the end of the day, what I thought it was interesting before the draft ended, I was watching Mel Kiper, and he said that there were still around like 250 players that had 6th through 7th round grades that were still available to be signed as undrafted or free agents. So these kids still have talent, you know what I mean? Hopefully one or two of these can show us something and make the team. If not, hopefully make the practice squad and develop and do something in the future. But just good luck to all of them, man. Hopefully somebody shows something, because we need it.
Right. Well, yeah, that's putting it very, very lightly. Salute to Rafi, just sent a super chat. I was just letting the clip play out real quick. Sexy and fly, Naya Rivera. R.I.P. my angel. Morning Nation, Raf in the building. Appreciate you, brother, for the $2 super chat. Much love, my friend. Yes, so yeah, salute to you, El Capitan. Like with these undrafted free agents, I don't expect I don't expect anything from these guys. Like if you get anything, like even a guy who can contribute in spots or a special teamer, that's a win. You know what I'm saying? Like the majority of these guys are not even going to make the practice squad. But it's not outside of the realm of possibility to find your way onto the team and make an impact. I mean, Isaiah Polamau is a testament to that. A guy who was undrafted back in, 2022. Little expectation, but, you know, he honed his craft, and now he's our I mean, he's our starting safety, and he played very well in spots last season. So, these guys are just going to have to come in, compete, work hard, and take somebody's job. You know what I'm saying? But we will see. Whichever one of these guys, if any of them pan out to be even depth guys, then that's a win. But we'll see. Jayhawk says, ball hawk just like Kobe Bryant is. Well, hopefully that is the case. He seems to be getting a bit of hype from the people in the chat, Mello Dodson. But I hope one or two of these guys can be depth guys or possibly more than that. We the people, Christopher Smith days as Raider might come to an end soon. Right, well, he's another one of these guys I keep highlighting that, like, you're 2 years deep into your rookie contract or Raider career. Like, when are you going to do something? Like, if you're not going to do anything and we're bringing all these guys in the door, especially at the safety position, then you need a bounce. You know what I'm saying? So maybe one of these guys can take his job, or hopefully the guy we took last year, Trey Taylor, can step his game up, right?
True that. Anything's possible, man. Until you work for it and they want it bad enough, anything's possible.
Kevin Garnett. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Richard Lyon says, Parker has potential to be a good backup to start at right tackle. Which one is that? Is he one of these guys on the... Are you talking about... Well, Parker Clements from Virginia Tech. Okay. Well, we will see. I mean, there's...
Oh.
It could be another what? Like, what's that guy, Wagner, that we got now?
Yeah, Wagner.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like another...
waiting on him.
Yeah, well... Look, I'm not expecting anything from these UDFAs until they show me something. And if they can manage to heist their way onto the Raiders roster, until then, we'll see. But that's it with the draft. I'm going to go back to the other screen. All right. So, look, as a whole, like, I'm feeling good about it. We did address quite a few areas of need, as well as bringing some players that should make an immediate impact. Looking at Genty, looking at either Besh, maybe even and or Thornton. A guy with a high ceiling in Darian Porter. You know, hopefully he can pan out at the corner position, play alongside the young guys we have there already. And hopefully one of these offensive linemen can, right from the rip, earn a starting job. Looking at the guard that we chose. What's his name? The guy? And there goes my camera. God damn it. What's the guy's name we chose? I keep getting their names mixed up. I know it's Charles Grant's tackle, right? The guard we picked in round 3.
Oh, damn. No. I'm not even going to try that.
Caleb Rogers. That's it. My bad. Caleb Rogers. And for fuck's sake, there goes my camera again. I'm going to have to get a better stand. God damn it. Maybe with one of these super chats I can afford one. All right, we good? I think so. And one of these defensive tackles, hopefully they can be a serviceable depth guy right from the rip. If they can be any more than that, cool. Like I highlighted before, I'm getting sick of these defensive tackles we draft and they don't amount to anything. But overall, I'm happy with the draft. To all the players, to all 11 and the UDFAs, welcome to the Raider Nation. Hopefully, this is the start of big things to come and the return back to greatness, right?
True that. You know, I'm just excited. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, John Spytek did a great job in the draft, especially maneuvering back a couple times, still getting some of the players he wanted. So shout out to him. And now he got the produce in here. Now it's time to peak care on the coaching staff to mold them how they want them and get them on the field and have them produce for us. So it should be exciting.
For sure. And we the people said that pretty sure Rumel Keaton and Thornton Jr. played together. Well, I think Rumel Keaton is kind of ironic because they made space by waiving him for the wide receivers that we drafted, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's just crazy, man. Just before the shit started, they let a couple of players go. So it just sucks because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Some people's dreams got to die for other people's dreams to be able to live. So hard life about being an NFL player.
It's a good way to put it, Ont6. I like that. But you know, it's a hard knock life in the athlete's life per se. But you know, it's all about the Shield, and whatever can make the Shield better, I'm all for it. And Nabman, did you see the story behind Jack Besh? Pretty emotional story. I like this kid a lot more. I watched this film. There's something about like his brother passed away, if I'm not mistaken. Very tragic. What was it? Like,
Yeah, his brother passed away in the terrorist attack in Louisiana. He was there, so it's crazy because it's sad just to secure the story about that, and then his brother places place for his legacy, and that's why he wears the number that he does, and it's just really inspiring story. So I just hope that works out for this kid, because this kid really deserves, and it looks like he's talented and has everything going for him, and hopefully it works out for him, especially now that he actually has a better quarterback than what he had over there at TCU. So I'm just excited for the kid, man. Hopefully everything works out for him and his family.
For sure. I know he's going to do his brother proud. I mean, he's proud of him anyway that he's in the league, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's an achievement in itself. So, but hopefully he can ascend himself to greatness, per se. And the Raider Nation, as well as his brother, we're all with him. So, yeah. And salute to you, Charm and M85. Nice to see you, Charm, in the feed. M85 says, the UFA list is extensive. We just nabbed up the UNLV quarterback too. Okay, that's what's up. So Haji Malik Williams was signed as a UDFA just now. So okay, all right. So that's a new name to the list. Another guy, I guess, who's just going to come in and compete. And I don't know, like, can he be more than anything more than a practice squad guy? Time will tell. But he's going to get his opportunity. But anyways, any final thoughts on Ont6?
No, I'm just excited. At the end of the day, I know some people are mad that we didn't address certain positions more than others, but the thing is, you got to realize there's still a lot of free agents available. We're going to have a little training camp coming up soon, so we're going to be able to see what we have in-house before we have to go out of house and address the needs that we have. So at the end of the day, just wait and see, guys, and let's just support these rookies when they come in here, because we need them to produce.
For sure. Jerry's comment, tank for Sanders. Huh. Yeah, right. Well, but that said, like, whatever you may feel about Sanders, like, it was nice to see him getting taken in the end and not go completely undrafted. So, but he's not a Raider, so my care for Sanders ends there. I only care who we got in the door, not about anybody else. But anyways, I appreciate everyone who pulled up tonight for me, this morning for you. Shout out to El Capitan Rafucho for the super chat. I appreciate you, brother. And everybody else, I'm just going to do a quick roll call of the names that I see. M85, Navy Vet, We the People, Jerry, Nabman, Marcus Bank, my guy Marcus, We the People, Charm, Westside was here before, Egalitarian, Raider Jeff. I can't see any other names because the chat's kind of scrolled away. But anybody else that I missed, I'm sorry. But salute to you. You know it's all love from me. I'm going to try and stay active with the Raider side of things, but we're going to be in a bit of a limbo phase for a while. But you'll still catch me on the game streams. Shout out to my guy, Raider Critique. We're going to be doing the Tecmo Super Bowl either next week or the week after. Still get on the game streams with my guy, Charm, Jerry, I'm Not Bueno, and Alfredo, even you, Ray Sandover, who was very active in the chat. Appreciate you, brother, as well as Raider Jeff. But outside of that, you'll see me around on panels. But I'm going to try and stay active, but it's just kind of hard. Not really much is shaken until preseason, right?
True that, but you know what I mean? Shout out to everyone and shit. Shout out to everyone that stopped by to do the picks with us this weekend. You know what I mean? Appreciate Rufucho, everybody and shit. It was a good weekend, man. At the Raider Nation, we're all happy. I know, especially some of us that wanted this Genty and shit, especially, you know, on the west side. I know you wanted them. At the end of the day, it's an exciting time, you know what I mean? And especially now, we know now definitely that we are in the win now mode, and that's all that matters now, because I'm excited about that. Shout out to Pete Carroll for updating the running back position, the quarterback position, and we'll see what happens this year.
For sure. Let's get back to greatness, that commitment to excellence, and just win, baby. But anyways, I'm out, gang. Salute to you all. I'm Afakasi Raider. Down below, you got your boy, Ont6 Soldier, Raider Nation for life. Win, lose, or tie, you know what time it is. It's Raider Nation till we what? Ont6.
Till we fucking die.
Raiders!
Raiders!
Alright, we out of here.
Till the next one.
Till the next one. Alright, peace.